Well, good afternoon, Memphis and the entire Mid-South. Thank you for joining us for this news update on 24 Plus. We're looking at, of course, the aftermath of last week's dangerous weather that swept across the entire Mid-South. What you're looking at right now, this is video from Elvis Presley Boulevard, right in front of M.J. Edwards Funeral Home, just north of State Line Road. You can see some of the cars, well, they're stalled in that flood water. Some also had to pull over, while others just decided to stop and not go through the flood water. This was happening all across the entire Mid-South. Here's some footage from over on Lamar between Melrose and Willett Street. This is a car that is stalled and also submerged in that dangerous water. Sadly enough, we saw this all over western Tennessee, North Mississippi, and of course, eastern Arkansas. And take a look at this video. This is from downtown Memphis yesterday. This was recorded by a viewer outside of the Peanut Shop on South Main Street, once again in downtown Memphis. As you can see, the water is shooting out of the ground. This is just incredible video. Again, video and scenes that we saw all over the Mid-South yesterday and the preceding days. We are now out of the storm that caused so much devastating loss, flooding, and also death in the Mid-South. Right now, we're bringing you a story from one community that faced extreme flooding and the high school student who helped them all stay safe. ABC24's Lauren Turman has this report.
Okay, here going another one.
As the Mid-South braved a once-in-a-generation storm, Cambridge Station condos in Memphis stepped up to save each other from flooding, and one teen in particular, 17-year-old Kadarius Smith.
Why did you decide to do that?
Because my friends and family and my mama was also out here, and she had to get back to the house, so I was like, wasn't nobody else doing it.
With tenants trapped by several feet of water, Memphis Light, Gas and Water didn't respond to their request.
He was out there in his shorts and sandals, and he was getting the water up. It was right here.
As the water grew taller on Thursday, Kadarius showed us what he had to work through.
It was like right here.
Wow.
Yep, and it went all the way to right there and all the way over here.
So all the way up to these bricks over here?
Yeah, all the way up, probably like to about this much left for the brick.
At one point, after realizing his rake wasn't working, he bent down and used his hands to clear the drain.
The maintenance lady, she came, I'd say probably like an hour after me halfway doing it and the other guys helping me. She ended up coming through here to help, and we just all got it done.
And his mom, Kiyomi, was there to see it.
I feel happy. I'm glad he's helping out.
And you said when the rain comes in over the weekend, you'll be here again to do the same thing?
Yes, ma'am.
In Hickory Ridge, South Riverdale, I'm Lauren Turman.
All right, thank you, Lauren. With the storm mostly over, high water levels will continue to threaten Memphis and the entire surrounding areas and communities for weeks to come. Now, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Memphis District provided insight on the recent flooding and its potential impact in our area.
The tributaries to the Mississippi, like the Wolf and Loosahachie, St. Francis, those tributaries, we are a little bit more concerned as we're seeing quite a bit of rainfall fall over some of those smaller river systems.
All right, the Corps of Engineers reassured us that Memphis and the surrounding area will also be okay, but warned us about those creeks, streams, and tributaries in our backyards. They urge Memphians and Mid-Southerners alike to stay in if you can, avoid high water, of course. To keep up to date on flash flood warnings and stay aware of potential weather before it hits your area. Remember, always remember, turn around and don't drown. And it's important to make this note. We are in the Mid-South under a flood advisory until April 26th, and we're under a flood warning until 6 o'clock today. All right, with people forced to navigate flooded streets and tunnels, many of you might be asking today, where does all of that water go? The answer, it's pretty simple. Down the drain to a creek, and eventually it'll make its way to the Mississippi River. All right, McNairy County was hit hard by the storms, leaving behind a path of destruction and devastation. The National Weather Service confirmed this was an EF3 tornado. An EF3 tornado hit McNairy County. Now, we do know at least one person has died in Selmer. Emergency crews, well, they're still searching for anyone who sadly may have been trapped and might still be trapped. All right, switching gears today, some businesses are nothing more than piles of rubble and debris. Homes and people's belongings are scattered everywhere across the town of Selmer, leaving people to sift through the aftermath. One resident told us, well, quick thinking is how he and his family were able to survive the storm.
I seen that car, my car, and that truck start to move, and then I immediately started shoving him and my mom into the bathroom. The walls was shaking. I thought the roof was going to get ripped off.
Sadly, so many other stories just like that across the metropolitan area. Despite the devastation, people in Selmer say they're just happy to be alive. All right, today's recovery operation is moving forward following Wednesday's devastating storm that moved all the way through Saturday late evening, early today, Sunday morning. Volunteer crews are bringing critical and crucial relief to storm victims. Now, the storm damaged 24 structures, tearing off roofs, destroying sheds, devastating yards, and completely leveling some houses. Now, workers rescued some personal items while others remained beyond salvation. Ethan Witt traveled all the way from Florida after learning about the devastation. He and his group crisscrossed the country without charging victims, offering critical cleanup assistance. This when communities need it the absolute most. Witt commits he and his team to recovering and cleaning everything possible for the devastated Lake City residents over in Arkansas.
You never know how to express it to people because it's, until you see it, you just can't grasp it. And for these people, this could be the worst moment of their life, and so we just try and come in and be a blessing to them and raise them up a little bit.
All right, this video is almost uncomprehendable. The devastation and destruction, of course. We were live in that area as we were over the last several days covering this terrifying and deadly storm. All right, moving on, the Tennessee Emergency Management crews, well, they've been in Selmer, Tennessee, assessing damage from the storm that left the town completely devastated. And if you or someone you know needs help in McNairy County, food and other items are available at the Selmer Community Center and the McNairy County Event Center. That will be ongoing as the cleanups continue. All right, switching gears, springtime for students typically means prom season, and that was the case yesterday. Unfortunately, several schools in the city of Memphis had to postpone their proms, of course, due to the weather. These schools were supposed to have their prom night last night, but announced they were canceled just before students got ready for pictures and dinner with their friends and dates. White Station, Bartlett, Houston, Christian Brothers, and MUS all had to cancel their proms, but don't worry, students, well, they're rescheduling it right now, and that's in the works. All right, be sure to download our 24+ streaming app on your TV and watch for free, of course. Remember, the 24+ streaming app is where you'll have up-to-the-minute weather updates as we work to keep you and your family safe. And right now, up to the minute, it is 50 degrees right now in the city of Memphis, and I can also tell you it is a bit chilly. The wind chill, according to the National Weather Service, is 45 degrees, and it looks like tonight the low is going to be about 41 degrees. So you're taking a live look at Danny Thomas and Interstate 40. Of course, the cars going away from the camera are traveling in an easterly direction, and I was standing on that bridge about 24 hours ago, and that was an area, you might remember, that was completely flooded, almost impassable by cars, putting the Big M Bridge, the new bridge, at an absolute standstill. That lasted for hours on end. Now we can switch over to the flyover. As you can see, The flyover's buffering, so be patient with us. You can see the clouds in the sky. It's light rain across the metro right now, depending on where you are. But of course, so many people digging themselves out from the devastation that the entire metropolitan area had to endure over the last several days. Of course, Kit and Trevor, our weather team, they were on air seemingly for 24 hours a day over the last several days. They're getting some much needed rest, of course. Now, we always encourage you to send your pictures and send your video to us of this devastation. I think we might want to stay on for a little bit more. Do we want to try and wrap right now? Okay, we're going to wrap things up, but once again, a couple more very important points. The metro area is under a flood advisory, believe it or not, until April 26th. And a flood warning until today at 6 o'clock p.m. Right now, it's 50 degrees. It feels like 45, this according to the National Weather Service. And the temperatures, they're going to be much cooler than normal, at least when compared to last week for this upcoming week, with highs in the mid to upper 60s. Of course, stay with the ABC24, both on air and online. And don't forget to download that free ABC24 app. For 24 plus, it's on Roku, Fire TV, and of course, Apple TV. Memphis and the entire Mid-South, please stay safe. And of course, again, stay with ABC24 News.